What's up?
In progress.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another In Progress podcast. I'm your co-host Jake, and here I'm with
Logo, still.
yeah, same as always.
Logo Jojo.
Oh shoot, representing. And here we are back with season 2. What's up, man? I'm so lame. But anyway, we are still doing podcasts. You thought we were done? You thought it was finale? Nobody thought that? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I know this is going to sound very generic and cliche, but I want to talk about the weather, man.
All right.
Not like a weatherman, but like the weather.
Like an icebreaker. Like, hey, how's the weather?
Yeah, exactly. But, dude, legit today felt so freaking good. And the reason why is because it is now autumn or fall, depending on whatever your preference of talking.
Some people are going through summer right now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, equator,
You're
Earth.
telling.
Yeah. In case if you liked our little intro there, I have a broken door now. Whoops. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, just wanted to say hey to Logo. Sometimes you just gotta
Make a really violent hey.
Yeah, exactly. But no, back to the weather. I want to know. Okay, I don't know if we talked about this in the past podcast, but I want to know, what is your favorite season?
Oh, my favorite. I'm usually not a hot weather person. I like cold weather, but I'm gonna go with. I would much rather prefer cold weather than hot weather. I do like the times in between where it's warm outside, but there's a really cold air blowing. Right whenever it's starting to turn into winter, that's one of my favorite times.
I would agree. That's my favorite. I know people like. I don't understand how. I don't know. Maybe you like this sometimes, where people are just so big on the winter. Just like it's like literally like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what Celsius is. Sorry, the rest of the world, but I can't stand. Like, there has to be. I'm in the between too. Like, this weather right now is the best. You got some wind. You got like it's not too hot. And it's just not cold either. It's just it's just right.
I will say, I love freezing weather. I love it.
Why?
It's just hot weather to me. It takes so much out of me. It's just so unbearable. I mean, I don't ever want to go outside. But whenever it's cold, I mean, you put on a jacket. And also, I look a lot better in winter clothing.
That's the other thing I like about fall too. Is I mean, but that's a cool thing I like about wearing certain clothes in different seasons. Is because, let's say, like, shoot, I'm getting tired of wearing shorts. Cool, winter's coming up, fall, whatever. I get to wear pants. Then you get tired of that. Back to summer again. But here's the thing, dude. Where we are, there's no seasons. It's like literally in like the past couple years, December is like, supposed to be freezing cold, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was a Christmas where it was just like I was sweating outside. Like I can
remember it was like 70 degrees outside whenever it was winter.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is this? Like, Mother Nature's on her period 24/7. I don't understand.
All the time. I can remember when I was a little kid, it was Christmas, and that was the year that I got a motorized scooter. And, dude, it was the best thing in the world. And I can remember I was shirtless, wearing shorts in the middle on Christmas.
Right.
And I was riding around my little cul-de-sac with
cul-de-sac?
I guess that's what you call it, a little circle. I lived on a circle.
Oh.
And I used to ride around that circle on Christmas with no shirt, nothing, and it was not cold. I can remember it was hot outside.
That's so weird. And then watch it like a couple years later, it'll be snowing.
Yeah, it's so weird how snow happens here. And my grandmother has her tradition every time it snows to go and get some of that snow and make ice cream out of it every year. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the weirdest thing, she saves it. When it snows, she'll put a bucket out there and let the snow freshly fall in the bucket,
put it in the freezer,
all the way up, and put it in the freezer and save it.
My mother did the same thing.
I don't know why, but
free ice cream.
I mean, and the thing is, she'll leave it in there, and she's like, I might as well throw this away.
Why'd you say? Dude, legit though, I love just going outside and just like eating the snow. Mm-hmm. Except,
Isn't that bad for you?
Well, if it is, I have no idea.
Watch us be talking. I mean, I do the same thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. I do the same thing, eat snow, but I read somewhere that's supposed to be like extremely bad for you.
I mean, it's just like what, dried rain.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm not a scientist. I do a podcast.
Yeah, like this is the podcast where information is very opinionated, I would say. Except I do have a couple facts about fall. That's actually kind of interesting. But did you know people born in fall live longer?
Bro, I was born like dead heat. I mean,
I know, same. We're like 9 days apart.
oh,
so-
we are 9 days. We were born in the same month, and it's literally the hottest month.
Yeah.
So we're not living much longer.
Nope. Which is I've been seeing signs lately.
Me too.
But here's a
Peeing blood, yeah.
I
Wait, is that a sign of aging?
of being blood?
Peeing blood?
Oh, you might want to get checked out. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so what's your next fact?
Yeah. No, I want to. There's a study in the Journal of Aging Research found that babies born during the autumn or fall months are more likely to live to 100 than those born during the rest of the year.
So they live up to 100 years old. Bro, I'm not even going to make it to 30.
Bro, I was thinking like, 40, 50, cabin. I'm out.
Cap.
But
All caps.
And there's one more fact I wanted to talk about was the days get shorter. And I mean, you realize that because I feel like if I'm not wrong, America is the only one, North America is the only one that does daylight saving times.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it. Honestly, it's a good and a bad thing because you know how there's some people that like to sleep,
Right.
but then there's some people who love more daytime. There's some people who like to have more of a day.
Sleep is the best.
I agree. But that's what's so weird for here in this area is sometimes you have more day, sometimes you have more night. That's whenever the hour changes. Because I remember you talked to somebody and they lived in Japan, I think, and they were like, well, how many hours ahead are you? Was it ahead? Like 13?
Yeah, they're like 13, 14 hours ahead of us.
And then she was like, oh, okay, so you're this many hours. And then you're like, well, starting this time, I'll be 14 hours.
Right.
And they were like, why does the hours change? So that's actually very odd. And I guess to us it's normal, but to them, it's like we live on a whole separate part of the world that does like this strange phenomenon. To them, it's just another day.
Dude, yeah. And like even about like equator and stuff, like we recently, like, at least I don't know, I can't remember anything much from school. So when I was just told that Australia just had winter because they're under the equator, I was just like, bro,
I never knew that.
that's so cool. And because I probably learned that like in elementary school, and it's just like,
Bro, let's be honest.
Gone.
I don't remember elementary school.
yeah, all that stuff is just like a blur, to be honest.
I mean, I do remember that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
So yeah, I only know that because of memes.
Yeah.
So really, it's just like, what do I know? But
I do. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
oh yeah.
But has anybody used that before outside of school? I mean, if you have, great. But for what? Because
I saw a TikTok the other day where they were doing math equations about like adding and subtracting fractions, and I'm like, bro, I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah.
I never used it, but I'm like, I know how to do that, even though it doesn't matter. But I mean, some people I guess would use it because you ever watched that Bradley Cooper movie where he ate a pill? Drugs are the answer, kids. No, not really.
Oh, so the one where he like gains 100% of his mind.
Yes.
And stuff?
Dude,
Yeah.
I love that. But he actually used math. It actually was useful.
Yeah.
So apparently we just need to use 100% of our brains. And
You ever wonder what that's like?
bro, that would be amazing. I mean, people I don't know really what is the answer because there's a lot of, you see movies like there's Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. But where they will use 100% of the brain. There's some people that says you already use 100% of your brain.
Right.
So, and then people like, oh, if you use 100% of your brain, then your body will start decaying and like you still like blood coming out of your nose and all that stuff. So it's like everybody's got their opinions or like I don't know. The thing is, it's like really anything in life. You don't know what's what.
Yeah. There's a reason why we use 100% of our brain. I mean, I'm fine just this way. I'm fine being stupid.
Yeah. We call us dumb smart.
Yeah.
Basically, but
so stupid that it works.
I want to read on this part about the days getting shorter. They have a little thing called the word equinox comes from the Latin equi. I probably butchered that, but it means equal. Mm-hmm. And nox meaning night, accounting for the equinox marking the time when day and night are of equal length. We often notice the nights begin to draw in from this point as after the autumn equinox, the nights are longer than the days until this is reversed at the spring equinox. I feel like we already knew that though, but it's basically saying, spring and...
So it's got to equal out the time.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. I literally just read that and I forgot what I just read.
So would you think that if we never used this daylight savings time, if we just didn't use it at all, do you think we'd be fine?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I don't know how they brought it out. I never looked up about what they did because they probably needed it back then. It's probably useful now. But
I mean, I understand like if you did a job that required sunlight, then yeah, I could understand where you need this. Wake up earlier.
But it's just 1 hour too.
And it's kind of selfish if you think about it, because that whole thing is based on jobs.
Oh, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was made for, people back then when people used to get up really early, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they would, need that daylight, I guess.
Like for farming.
Yeah, for farming, agriculture, all that crap. Yeah. But about the weather, again, because, it is kind of getting fall. I mean, we are in fall now. There's this thing called Halloween.
Oh, this is one of my favorite times of the year is Halloween.
Really? Is that your favorite holiday?
I want to say yes. I want to say it's either my first or second.
Okay.
I like Christmas too.
Yeah, Christmas. It's okay. If in case we have talked about this in the podcast, I'm sorry, but we're just going to elaborate more on it.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah, we just talk about this every year. Halloween. What do you think Halloween's going to be? With Corona going on and everything.
I mean, every day we have to wear a mask, and then Halloween we all wear masks, so it's kind of taken care of. I think it's kind of taken care of. Because you have a mask on. Like, I mean, if I'm going to be...
Put a mask on the costume.
Yeah, have a mask. You need to have a mask on the costume.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd also be a good Halloween costume, don't you think? The coronavirus. I mean, I could literally wear one of those normal masks that wrap around the ear. And that's me. I'm now a character. I'm now a coronavirus survivor.
Patient, a survivor.
Yeah. And...
dies right after.
I do think that the Halloween may be a little different this time around because, well, one, there's still social distancing. Mm-hmm. Then again, you have food like candy. How are you going to sanitize the candy to each and every kid? Is there going to be like some kind of rule? I mean, we're not close to Halloween yet. We still got a good ways, but I wonder how Halloween is going to play out because I don't think there's going to be any problem with the masks unless you're not wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. But who knows? I do know that this is my favorite time of the year. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to let coronavirus stop me from getting candy.
From trick or
even though I'm this old,
You still go to trick or treat? Trick or treat?
Yeah. Is that bad?
Bro, I trick or treat by just going to the store.
Bro, I legit just find kids that don't have an adult with them, and I act like I'm their adult. And I go to door, and I'm like, trick or treat. My kids want candy. Hey, while you're at it, can you fill this bag up, dude?
It's my excuse to buy candy, and I feel like it is for adults. I'm still like that kiddish age where like I just buy candy left and right through the year, and then now when they just put it out there, and they make it more affordable too. So I just go to the store and I see all these bags full of all this variety. I'm just like,
How do you feel? I mean, I've already stated that Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah.
How about you? I know that we're getting older. The age is starting to settle in. We're starting to get gray hairs. We're starting to.
I'm not. I don't know about you.
I'm starting to get that salt and pepper look. But what is Halloween to you? Is it better than all the rest, or is it like high on your list, low on your list?
Dude, honestly, I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, it's just that it's just that holiday. It's just there.
The one special thing on my list, you don't care. You don't care about
I care a lot, man. No, but I don't know what it is because I want to be back into holidays, but literally the older I got, the less I care about any holiday, which is I mean, it's kind of negative, and I mean that's why I want something to change, but I never really do anything. Yeah. Like even for New Year's, like it's like hey, Happy New Year, and I'm just like, oh, it's midnight. Then it's like 12:01. I'm like, all right, back to playing Animal Crossing.
So as a kid, did you like Halloween?
As a kid. Yes, because I got a lot of candy. Right. And bro, I remember this one time I went to some event and I don't know what I was doing because I was very young, but I remember I had 2 bags full of candy, and there was this girl I had a crush on who was like 10 years older than me, and I was friends with her brother, and I go over to their house, and I had a crush on all the sisters. There was one a couple months older than me, one 10 years, then one like 12, I would think. I don't know. So I went in there, and they're like, "Oh, hey," and I'm like, dude, legit, I wouldn't give my candy for the world. When I saw her, I'm like, "Hey, here, I got this for you." Trying to get on that list, man.
Sipping before there was.
Man, I was sipping, bro.
Did you ever have that time where you went and got a whole bunch of candy, and then you brought it home, and you like had it all over the floor, and you're like, "Oh, look at all this," and your mom was like, "You can't eat these kind."
Bro.
And there's that sketchy candy that you had no idea what it was, and still to this day, I mean.
Dude, the candy with razors were my favorite.
Dude, whenever they put like what is that called? Maybe they put LSD tablets inside of those things, man.
Dude, I thought those were the best one. I don't know why the parents wouldn't let you have those.
I don't know why. I mean, they don't do nothing. I mean, just let you see all kinds of shit and monsters.
Yeah, dude, I was having fun, but
that's what made Halloween great, is because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. And now with adults, it's just like, wait, what were we talking about again? Did you ever trick or treat though?
Oh, when I was a little kid, I did. When I was a little kid, I went trick or treating a little bit. But I always stayed clear of the sketchy houses.
Yeah, it's like that kind of thing, like you knew.
Yeah. I do remember when I was a really little kid, my mom, dad, or grandmother, whoever I was with, I was trick-or-treating with, they were like, we're going to skip this house. And actually, come to find out, this was only a couple of years ago. I remember I was walking with one of my cousins and going trick-or-treating. We went to this house. I just knew something was wrong with it. Went up. I even went with them to the door to make sure everything was safe. They put the candy in. The guy was real creepy. The next day, he's arrested for soliciting children in his house and molesting them. Now I see why, as a little kid, I was directed away from certain houses. Now, if that would have been my little cousins who went to that house, I'd be like, sorry, I'm not dealing with that. You can keep them. But it's so scary too, because it's not just the monsters you got to be scared of on Halloween. It's the real living monsters. Right. But yes, as a kid, I did a trick or treat. And now that I'm older, I think I like Halloween more now that I'm older.
Because are you partying more and stuff?
There's partying. Of course, there's partying. I also love, and I know this is me getting old. They have a lot of Halloween movies that come out. I like to sit there and watch Halloween movies, and I love giving candy out to kids, not in a creepy way. Get
in my van.
Yeah, who knew that whenever you have a moving home that's white and painted white, and you drive it, and you're free candy, nobody wants to come.
That makes no sense. I would have been in there.
Shoot, I got razor blades and LSD tablets. Come on.
Exactly. Next time you should put free Wi-Fi. Then,
let's do that this year. I am joking.
Yeah.
for legal purposes. But anyway, so I know that this year coming up, it's going to be a little different Halloween. But do you plan on going out Halloween or staying in Halloween? Because now there's a plus to both sides. Going out, you have all the normal Halloween activities. Staying in, of course, there's things to do home. Halloween's just another day too.
Dude, honestly, I have no idea what this year. Especially with what everything's going on in the world. Like, would anything be really any different, or would it be the same?
That actually brings me to a point. Whenever you said the difference between with coronavirus out, I was kind of confused the other day. Because I kept seeing things about Halloween. I'm thrilled about Halloween. I love all the candy that comes out. My favorite thing is the Reese's that come out during Halloween, the pumpkins. But I kept thinking, what is it like in other areas for there to be Halloween? Because to us, it's going out, dressing up, going to people's houses, trick-or-treat, knock, knock, whatever. Give you candy, move to the next house. Or getting a truck and putting a trailer bed with hay bales on the back, and you ride, and then you go to houses.
Yeah, and
that's normal.
Treating.
Yeah, and that's normal to us. Trunk or treating is just for those homeschool kids that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah, but I actually had to do that because my parents wouldn't let me trick or treat for those reasons. Also, I was living in the middle of nowhere, so I really had no neighbors to trick or treating unless they're going to trick or treat a gun to my face. Yeah, so we avoided those.
Well, that's our trick or treating here, but I started looking into it of other places, and we may have talked about this before, but like Japan, I didn't know that it's considered kind of rude, and to us it'd be rude to go trick-or-treating to people's houses because it's a major inconvenience.
I know they're big on Halloween though.
They dress up big time.
Yeah, I think if I did want to experience a Halloween holiday, going out and doing stuff, it would be in Japan because I've even just seen videos and pictures and just read about it, and I'm like, that seems really fun.
I started looking at some pictures of whenever I dressed up for Halloween as a kid, I put on a skeleton costume or a pirate costume, whatever it was at the time, whatever the trend was at the time. I go out, people be like, oh, good costume. But they're all about, they make their own original costumes. They make it from scratch. You rarely see anybody go and buy a set costume. They usually will buy a set and then make it their own way into something.
When's the last time you dressed up for Halloween?
Last year.
Oh, dude, I've never dressed up.
Bro, I always dress up. So I did not dress up one year.
Really?
Because I was working on Halloween. And then when I left work, I was wearing black pants, a belt, and a black shirt. And that was what I was wearing to work. I looked all nice for work. And I got to a Halloween party. And the guy there was like, you didn't dress up? I was like, just got off of work. He legit gets a napkin, rips the sides off of it, and puts it in my shirt. Boom! I'm a Catholic priest.
Hey, whatever works.
And I was a Catholic priest all night, and people thought that was the best costume ever.
Wow, like, oh my gosh, dude.
And legit, people were like, "Oh, I get it," and I was like,
dude, I feel like maybe that's why I've never really enjoyed Halloween, because I never really dressed up.
This year, I think we should find something interesting to do. I mean, I know trick or treating is interesting, but it'd be great to vlog a Halloween experience here.
I would actually want to do that, to be honest. I don't know. Would there be anywhere around us? Would there be something going on? I wouldn't even know.
I can tell you this: around here, there's
nothing. Yeah,
we live nowhere.
Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere.
And I love it every time we hang out, and we like once we start coming back to where we live, I'm just like, oh. Like it's my mood's killed. It's over. I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
But
so what was the
There was another country that does Halloween.
Yeah, it was. I think it's like Mexico. I actually had it in my notes. They celebrate. I think it's the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Now I'm not 100% knowledgeable about it, so I may cream this up a little while.
Cream it up for
cream it up. Like I mean, it's not going to squirt. It's going to cream.
Okay.
But they basically celebrate the dead. To me, when I hear that, I think it's like a day where it's a giant funeral. It's like you're because I mean, even though whenever people die and pass away, I mean it's a sad moment, but you're supposed to celebrate them passing on.
Right.
That's what they do all Halloween is celebrate the dead in these big festivals. And I've seen pictures, and they're beautiful festivals. They're great. They're very energetic.
Is that the one called Cinco de Mayo?
I think. Shoot, I'm going to say quinceañera. That was like when you were 16.
That's totally not.
I don't actually know what Cinco de Mayo is.
Yeah, I think that's the Day of the Dead.
That is?
If I'm not mistaken. I could be totally Mexican, wrong, bro. So. We need to bring like a Mexican on the podcast or like a, but I think, yeah, because I remember even taking a Spanish class and even did a project on it about the Day of the Dead, and I legit remember nothing.
Actually, you know what? I remember doing that same thing, but my favorite part was that you had to bring food that was brought to the Day of the Dead, like thing, and people would bring like rice, and people would bring bean dip, people would bring all kinds of authentic Mexican dishes. But one girl brought a durian. Now I'm not entirely sure if a durian is Mexican, if it's Japanese. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know anything about it.
But it stinks, dude.
It's terrible. Well, she brought a durian, and then she brought durian extract. So then it's in a little like tube where you squeeze it and it comes out, and a pipette, I think that's what it's called. And I had it in my hand, and she was like, "Do not consume this." I wasn't the smartest kid in class, so I was like, "You're not going to tell me what to do." So you're supposed to get a drop. Well, I got it and opened it, and I filled the whole thing up, and I poured it in my mouth. Never will I do that again. I learned my lesson. That's the one time I can say I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
And but that was one of the authentic things she brought. But yeah, it's basically a whole day where they celebrate like their ancestors that have passed. I think they even made a movie about that, and I think it's Coco. I don't know what it's called. It's something.
I like though that they do that.
Yeah.
Because at first I was just like, it's kind of weird, but I'm like, I've been to funerals, dude, and they suck. Like I know somebody passes and stuff, and it's sad. But I mean, you gotta like talk about what they've done, like when they're alive, celebrate them, and that's why I like they even have a holiday for that. Like even though if you have a funeral, it's sad, you can have a day where everybody just starts celebrating.
Yeah, I do like that because I know I've had family members that have passed, and on their birthdays, I mean, we'd visit their grave and leave flowers. But I do think that's amazing that they have the Day of the Dead because it's a day where everybody can celebrate the ones who have passed on.
Right.
And then there's some people who completely disagree with me. They think that's a horrible thing, but it respects them. And it's where people you don't know are still celebrating everybody and their own. It's a big celebration instead of it being so depressing. Of course, it's still sad, but you're remembering what they live for.
Right. I was just thinking like it'd be kind of weird though. It's like you're over there, you meet new people, and you like you should get a girl's number there, and like.
Would that be bad? I mean, you heard that joke like in Alabama where you go. And they're like, "Yeah, I met my girlfriend, or my wife at my dad's funeral." Oh. And they're like, "Yeah, that's your first cousin." But like, I mean, is it bad to get a girl's number during that time of the dead?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, because it's that kind of moment too, where they're praising them, but they could be sulking there.
Yeah.
So you're both sulking and try to make each other feel better.
Get a broken girl.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're sulking too, that'd be one thing.
Yeah, condoling each other.
Yeah, but if you're just like, oh man, yo, this girl, like, I'm gonna slip in.
She's kind of crying over there. Maybe I could be like,
the
I
saving
could be her
grace.
shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, and but yeah, so I don't know if that really would be. It's got to be on the circumstances, but that still doesn't really look that good.
It doesn't. Looks pretty rough, honestly.
Yeah. There's any times or weird places where you've actually talk to a girl or like try to get her number or whatever, like are there any places like that are like like, oh man, that's kind of awkward?
Okay, I can remember that I worked at a camp and I was the leader over a ropes course, and it was this woman and she was it's kind of an odd story. I mean, I'm not making fun of her at all, but
let's hear it, man.
Me and her had taught for a couple days, and she was kind of leading me on, and then she got to the ropes course. We were super high in the air. She had to go down the zip line, and she was getting ready to go. She got scared, so she wanted to go with me, so she wouldn't. So we got stuck. We got stuck because of a technical difficulty. Nothing we could have, but it happened all the time. So we were there for about 2 hours just hanging, and then of course she's freaked out. I've done it 1,000 times. I'm like, whatever. So I remember looking at her, I was like, hey, is this a bad time to get your number? So obviously when people are in fear of their life, they don't want to give you their number. What a whore. And so she kind of gave me a couple choice words. I can specifically remember, and I didn't know this until then, she was going to flip me off. And
when she was going to go down anyway?
No, she was there and she was going to be like, F you, and then flip me off. And I was like, why don't you use that hand? And I can specifically, looking at her other hand, she was missing her middle finger. And I was like,
oh, dang.
I was like, oh. I don't know why I remember
Why was she so rude, bro?
But she was so rude.
Man.
I was just trying to get her number while we were in fight for our life. But
bro, that's the awkward thing, though, is like getting numbers. Like, I don't think I've ever asked a girl for a number, like just randomly go up.
Yeah.
But I've had instances where I had somebody go up to me. And, dude, it's, the thing is, it's weird. Like this girl like came up to me, but it was more like this is how I know where they're too young. Yeah. And I've always been told I had like a baby face, because I remember I was in college and people were saying I looked like I was 15, 16. Yeah. And I'm like, is this a compliment? Is it an insult? I don't know. But when the girls came up, it was like these 3 girls. They're like, this is how I know they're too young, is where they're giggling. Okay.
Yeah, they're always too young.
They all they're like, let's go get his number and talk to him. So I'm over here just looking at the movies, seeing something to buy, see what anime they got. And girls come up to me and they're like, hey, my friend wants your number. Like, what's your name? And then I told them they want some number, and I'm like, well, what's her name? Like, can I talk to her? like who is this person? Because, I mean, that's what I would think, should be done instead of just talk to the friends. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, a random girl wants to, like, let me go.
Remember, as a kid, I'd be like, what? Oh, yeah. I'm getting her number. Oh, my gosh. But nowadays, to women out there, just ask us. Be completely honest. Just walk up, hey, can I have your number? That's probably the biggest thing you do. If we're having to fight for it, I'm not going to fight long.
Now it's like it's the Snapchat. It's just
Snapchat's
like, Snapchat. That's the way to go.
It's a lot safer and a lot quicker. And then when you get that ugly girl who's like, hey, can I have your Snapchat? She sounds just like that, too. She sounds like Fat Albert. Hey, can I have your Snapchat? Hey, let me tell you something. Can I have that Snapchat?
But, no, anyway, so they came up and I'm like, okay, hey, I got a newer name. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I'm over here. I'm like, what, like, should I? I don't want to be rude. So I go and I put my number in anyway. And I put the right number, obviously. And then when I leave, I get a call and text from them. Obviously, I don't answer because I could have been nice and said, hey, but, it's that kind of thing, too. Where I'm like, I could tell they were like 15, maybe, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to jail today. So I just like, just gotta book that, dip out real quick, and just and just move on. Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, it was Halloween. I got a girl's number. Now, before I continue, do not ever get a girl's number on Halloween before she takes off her mask.
Why is that?
Because you don't know what she looks like.
Yeah.
Because I can remember I went out with this group of people, and they had a friend who had a mask on. Okay. But you could still see her eyes. But you couldn't see this or her hair or nothing. Well, we kept hanging out, and I didn't know what she looked like. It had been an hour she wore that mask, and I was just like, well, we should take it off. Well, she ended up asking me for my number, and I was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, here you go. Well,
Well,
she had a beard.
oh, you're not into that, man?
No.
You don't like beard on beard?
No. Okay, there's some women who can grow facial hair, but this woman, she could beat me. She was also, I didn't know, I thought at the time she was my age, she had to have been at least 10 years older than me.
Bro, you don't like those older girls, bro?
I do like older women, I don't like older men.
Oh, yeah, that's, I mean, it could be a new trend where girls just like having mustaches now. Just let you know, you don't like
Well,
those?
then I would have to be gay. I mean, I'd have to be gay.
Dude, that's a legit, like, I would see, like older women or something, they would like have like mustaches coming on, and I don't know. I mean, I don't judge, but
I judge.
but for
Wax
like
that shit.
but I would legit like just see that stuff, and I don't know what it is. I guess it's like I don't see it much, but when I see it, I'm just like I shouldn't be there, you know. But it's,
I will say this, and now it does not bother me. I understand completely. Dating a girl
with a mustache.
Well, like me. I mean, you can see me. I'm dark haired. I can grow hair pretty fast. She is too, and I always made fun of her. I don't anymore about her growing a mustache. She's not really growing a mustache. It's just peach fuzz. Every girl gets it. Well, she has really, really beautiful, long, dark hair. I can see where it's a mustache, and I always joke with her, and it makes her so self-conscious, but it shouldn't, because I'm not really... I mean, it makes it look... Actually, you know, I'm a jerk. You know, I'm just a piece of shit. I'm just a piece of shit. But it does... I do look at it, and I'm like, girl, you got a mustache. I ain't kissing that thing, but... But I mean, just wax it. No, I'm just joking. It's fine. It's peach fuzz. Who cares? But if your mustache looks like this, don't do it.
Well, from what you're telling me, it sounds like you would be getting beat up afterwards.
Yeah, she did.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking like
I couldn't even put up a fight because I can't. She overpowers me.
That's the thing though is you know, if you don't know Logo, he's always getting hurt on literally sometimes the stupidest things. Like I can't even comprehend how he does this. But if there's a way, he will do it. What just happened recently? Like you burned yourself?
Well,
that might not be that.
I will say this: I burned myself 100 times, 1,000 times, but this is the first time. Well, I've been lit on fire a lot, also on accident. This one was another accident. This was actually only a few days ago.
Okay.
Actually, this weekend.
Yeah. Past weekend.
And I can remember there was some limbs. We were moving some limbs, and we were going to burn them because a lot of the wind had knocked over a bunch of limbs. So I was going to pour some gas on them and then light it. Not a lot of gas. Well, I had gas on me. Didn't think about it. Fire got too close to it where we weren't ready, and then I kind of just went poof. So my hand is burned up now, and I lost a lot of the hair on my legs.
But it was like really quick though, because
was really quick.
You don't have like any burns anywhere else.
Yeah,
so it had to be like
it was so quick, and it hurt for like a second, but it scared me more than anything.
Uh-huh.
But it did hurt, and like the knuckles of my toes are bald now. Like men grow hair on their knuckles of their toes and on their feet and on their legs. Well, my ankles are bald now. My feet are bald, and my toes are bald. It's pretty cool if you think about it, and it felt really weird, but it's scary because it was like a loud, and then that was it.
Oh yeah, you should do that to your hair on your head next.
You know,
because I'm telling you, bald. It's an interesting experience not to go into life.
It looked pretty cool because I'd have a really big beard and be bald.
Yeah,
but
I think it's trust me, dude. It's like you think like, oh, I care about my hair, I love it so much, but once you like it's gone, you're just like, I'm free. Like I don't care about anybody. I don't care what they say. I'm doing what I want.
I need to remember that.
Why do I look like Humpty Dumpty? I look like a freaking egg that's about to crack. I look like Caillou. What? Why did I do this?
Getting hurt all the time sucks. And I'm pretty sure I get hurt doing that also.
Do you have any moments that are very memorable of getting hurt?
Well, off the top of my head, yes. I remember...
Physically, not emotionally.
Oh. I have another one then.
Okay.
Remember that zip line I told you about? That's the girl's number out. Well, same as zip line. Exact same one.
Same day?
No, this was actually... this was not that same year. I worked there for multiple years.
Okay.
This was actually, I think, the next year after that. I used to help out these children who would climb up and they would come down the zip line, scared to death of it. And I won't lie, my first time doing it, I was scared of it, but after doing it 100 times, I got used to it. Well, again, the kid got scared, and he's like, could you hook yourself to me and we go down at the same time? I was like, yeah, no problem. So I got on, started going down. We got midway through, and he got scared, and he put his hands up, and when he did, he hit my arm, and it knocked my arm up into the wire, and
dang.
the wheel where you're scrolling, it got caught in my hand. And remember that movie? I think it's like 48 hours, 70-something hours, where the guy has the boulder that drops on him. He has to cut his arm off. Well, it felt like that moment because my hand is stuck in that wheel, and it's hurting. This blood just raining down all over me. And the kid, of course, this kid's getting traumatized because a grown man's blood is just pouring all over him, and he's like covering his eyes, and I'm like I don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And
so you start cutting off your arm.
No.
Oh.
But I did cut off, and I did notice it was like my tendon was in that wheel. So I kept reaching around. I kept looking for something. I had like a little Swiss Army knife, and I had a little tiny knife in there. So I pulled it, and I just started scratching, and it was so dull. I started scratching that skin out. Ooh. And I can remember finally I got to that last little bit, and I had just ripped it off, and the wheel cut loose, and we started going again, and the blood just was going everywhere. And I still have the scar for it to this day, but
I don't know. You doing that kind of reminds me of that first episode of Attack on Titan. I know it's so random, but that just reminds me of that, like blood sprouting. It's just like at the end with the like it just.
That does remind me of now that you talk about it.
I don't know. You're just like man, this idiot. But
what about you? What's an injury that you can think of that's like that? Whenever you think, oh, I got hurt, this is where you know you got hurt.
Usually, when I get hurt, it's because I'm stupid. That's why I like. I mean, but it's like I don't usually do anything stupid anymore. But there was one time like when I was a kid. Most of it was when I was young. But there was one time when I was a kid. I was just I was trying to climb a tree. You know what kids do. Yeah. And there's this branch right here, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grab this so I can get higher. And I grab it. Apparently, it was a dead branch. So when I grab it, my stomach slides all across the tree, and I still have a scar to today. But for the children out there, I won't show you. But there was another one where, I mean, it's very small stuff, not really big. But there was one time, too, where I think you knew something about this, where I was legit just running backwards on a road close to my house. Yeah. And I was just like, hey, I'm going to run as fast as I can. And I'm going, and I didn't know, like, it was a bad road then, and I didn't know there was a puddle there. So I'm just running like this, and then I'm like, I hit the puddle, so I lose my balance, and I fall back. And, of course, I don't want my back to hit the ground or my head. So the first thing you do is get the hands. So I get my hands and it like twists or something. So I sprained them really bad. I was just like, yeah. And then of course I had to get like a cast.
Yes, whenever you had your sling in, and we always used to take your sling away from you and make fun of you.
Yeah, that was fun times.
Yeah.
I could barely remember any of it. Dude. You could tell me like I killed a guy and I'd be like, man, really?
I do. I can remember back in that time period you had your sling, and I was so amazed by it because I was like, oh, whoa. I was like,
this guy got a sling. I know literally when I walked in, I remember the first day I walked in, they were like, what happened? Dude, what happened? And
you kind of feel important because you're like, hey,
that's right. I wish I had a cast though. I mean, I wouldn't need a cast, but I wish I did. I'm like, man, I should have broke my wrist, man. And so all the girls be like, oh, sign
like, all you'll need is a sling. Oh.
Yeah.
Now you're going to need a cast.
Yeah. Yeah, time to sign this. But, yeah, really, there might be other instances, like, some that I did where I got hurt, but I can't really think of much. Yeah. I don't know if you have any more because I mean Logan has the small things too where he would dislocate your finger
all the time,
every day. Like you come over here, I feel like you already dislocated your finger or something. Like he did dislocate your arm only once.
See I did it once when I was playing outside, and it was actually the dog jumped up, and whenever I went to go down, my finger hit the ground and it dislocated. Turns
yeah, dude, that dog freaking hates. Well, it used to at least the dog's finally.
Now I forced it to love me.
Yeah, just like he's over here, just like choking it, like you better freaking love me.
On the ground, just back on the ground, and I'm like, now love me.
Yeah. Now it's every time it just sees you, it's just like,
yeah,
pet me. I guess I don't know.
So, have you ever made fun of somebody who has a disability? Have you ever experienced a time where you've made fun of someone with a disability? Don't feel bad because we're going to answer those questions for you right now with, is it okay to make fun of dark things?
Is that a racist joke?
Like, bad things
okay.
like...
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Make fun of it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to joke about it.
Yeah, to joke about it. I mean, I don't condone making fun of people with, like, serious things, but is it okay to joke about it? In my opinion, yes.
Yeah.
Like, an example would be... Wow, I can't even think of one. It's hard when I'm on the spot.
I don't know. It's because back then, you know, with Filthy Frank and PewDiePie and all that stuff, like that's when edgy humor was big.
You know, I wasn't. It wasn't too long ago when that came out either. It wasn't super long. That's whenever it started getting bad.
That was like what 3-4 years ago.
I think.
So it wasn't too long ago. Maybe.
I can't remember, but I do remember. I do remember whenever I was a kid, we didn't do that. Nobody did that. Like, you didn't make fun of cancer. You didn't make fun of Down syndrome. You didn't make fun of anything like that. Like, calling somebody stupid or
retarded.
saying, or you couldn't even say retarded.
Yeah, well, we can't do that now.
Well, we still can't do that. We can't say retarded anymore.
That's what I hate, though. It's like, I'm legit, like, I mean, I know, like, what disabled dude's going to feel bad? I feel like it's all the people that are...
like, what? He's disabled. He can't feel bad.
No, I mean, what is he gonna feel bad about? Somebody somebody says like, "Hey, Logo, you're retarded."
I draw my line in certain areas. Like, if there's someone who has Down syndrome in front of me, I'm not gonna be like, get down with your bad self. No, I'm not going to do that. Now, of course, like me and you are fully capable in certain areas. I will make fun of you and be like, "Man, are you retarded or something?"
Right.
Like 2 + 2. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But there's the limit.
Right.
But I do regularly make really dark jokes.
Yeah, and I feel like there's times too where, like as you know, if you're really close, obviously you know how that person is, and you know their values and you know principles. So take it as a joke. But then there's other people that they don't know you that well, where like, oh, this dude's he's very rude. He's being like racist, like anything. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, I would think.
You know, kind of the whole world right now is just. I mean, you have to think the whole world is kind of just a dark joke. Everything is so dark nowadays, and I never actually sat back and looked at it from whenever I was a child till now. Because when I was younger, like it was bad to just point your finger and call someone out. Nowadays, it's just like these really terrible things that back then I'd be like, why would he say that? But nowadays I'm like.
Dude, I'm always liking the people that don't care, like they'll do what they want to do, like because like the majority is just like, how dare you saying that? That's so rude. And I'm over here, I'm like, that was funny though.
Yeah.
But I mean, because obviously, if it's as a joke, and I could see like I know how they are. Obviously, you don't really know how people are, only themselves, I guess. If you're not close, like I'm watching a dude on YouTube. He makes a joke that not really would be good to the sensitive. Oversensitive people. So, but I'm over here thinking like, okay, I know he's joking. I think it's funny. Yeah. And there's nothing beyond that. It's a joke. And the bad thing is you can't really joke about that stuff anymore because they're just gonna get too irate over it and start tweeting about anything and everything.
That actually brings me to something that I actually saw yesterday because I spend most of my time on TikTok. There's a lot of dark humor there, but there's one person that I always watch.
Man, you must be liking those. The algorithm.
I like that algorithm. I started I actually subscribed to him, liked and followed Ray William Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
And he I just found out yesterday he got banned.
Did he?
He got banned for going against their guidelines. Now, of course, their guidelines are you can't do hate, you can't do this, but he has their permission.
Yeah, and then even in the comments or at the end, he'll just say like, it's all fun and jokes. Yeah. I saw him upload a video today, so I guess he's back.
Ray William Johnson, if he was going to do it to me, he wouldn't just go do it. I would have to ask him, and he would say in his videos that so and so asked me to do this, and it's usually some pretty dark humor. I mean, some of it's not. Some of it's just like blunt, stupid stuff. But some of it's kind of dark. Like I watched some of them, and I was like, "Dang!" Whoever he's talking to, they must get offended. But then again, they asked him.
Right.
So he's 100% legit.
Dude, his roast though. Like sometimes I watch it, I'm like, "Dang, dude."
He gets pretty dealt.
Some of them are like, I'm literally just dying laughing. And other times I'm like, oh, I kind of feel bad for them. But even though it's all fun and games and stuff. But Ray William Johnson, dude, I don't know if you watched him back in the day, but he was one of the top YouTubers, but the top YouTuber before. But I used to watch him like every day. Yeah. And legit though, I would go back to the old videos, and I'm like, I found this hilarious. Like, what's up? I think it's because that mentality back then. But
yeah, that was the humor back then.
Yeah, and sometimes it wasn't even that. Like, it wasn't really dark. It was just the jokes really people wouldn't say. Because I know some people that are legit, like, they're like, oh, don't say that, that's mean. And I'm like, I thought it was funny. Like,
Yeah.
we're joking
That's
around.
really that's that culture.
Yeah.
Like you're separated.
Don't want to hurt your feelings.
I do.
What's that saying? Facts don't care about your feelings. Ben Shapiro. People are gonna hate me for that.
I do think
I
that
thought it was,
Filthy Frank, Joji, Pink Guy, whatever you want to call him, Filthy Frank brought in a new age. I think he brought in.
he was definitely needed at the time, and
Yeah.
I've been watching. I've never watched his. I think I see a couple of his videos before,
Yeah.
but I never actually like watched them like you did. And recently, I've watched a couple of videos like when Japanese react to him. And bro, some of his stuff like it's really funny.
Yeah.
But some of it's just like what did I just watch kind of thing, you know?
There's a lot of his videos that I have to watch over and over again because I find new things that's funny.
Bro, that sense of humor, it's it's something else, man. I don't even know how to describe it. Like Filthy Frank, I have no idea. I can't even explain him. He's just like that kind of character. And I didn't know that he actually was half Japanese.
I think he's also Australian too.
Oh yeah, what is he? Just Australian Japanese?
I think he's Australian, Japanese, and there's something else I can't remember. But he's got basically everything in him. And he also is he's into music. He does all kinds of things. I mean, dude's got it made. And he started from the ground up. And his time here was definitely needed. He came at the right time and left at the right time.
Yeah, because I'm not really, I haven't listened to his new album that came out, but I wasn't a big fan of his music, but I'm glad he's out there doing something new.
It's too depressing for
people. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm in the mood, maybe, but I'm usually just, I mean, I know you're huge into that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
always
just,
depressed.
Yeah, but I like the more upbeat kind of music. I mean, sometimes I like, the soft and sound music, but it's got to be a certain, I can listen to anything, basically, but would I prefer to listen to something over the other? Yes.
Yeah, I will say it's a taste.
Dude, I got to tell you, though, since we've been going to the gym, I know we'd like, at least for me, I've been like, just lifting more weights and stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, I really need to lose some weight, man. Because like I'm glad we're doing that now, but I legit have no idea why I'm keeping getting big. It just makes no sense to me. And why? I'm trying to go to the gym, but I just understand it, man. I don't know. You know what I mean?
What? Where did you get a Twinkie?
What are you talking about?
Okay, I know we planned this stuff out, but where did you get a Twinkie?
I'm just saying. I don't understand how we're not losing weight. And we keep going to the gym. It just make no sense to me.
I'm actually kind of offended
that
you didn't share.
Oh, I didn't know you want that.
But it's okay. But yeah, go to the gym. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
It makes no sense to me, man.
So do they last forever?
Twinkies?
Yeah, somebody told me they last forever.
No, because I watched Umbrella Academy, and even though it's fictional and very, very fictional, the guy said Twinkies do not last forever. Therefore, it's fact, and they do not last forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just because somebody said they don't.
Yeah, like a fictional character. An actor playing a fictional character.
Wow.
In a
so
fictional
always
show.
Remember, the fakest people in your life is the ones you need to trust.
Yeah.
Just like this podcast.
Yes, everything we say is fact. But for legal purposes, no, don't listen to what we say. Yes. Since it's just gotten really weird now, might as well just wrap it up now. What do you think?
Wrap it up. We can.
Unless
My
you
mom
got
should have wrapped it up.
Oh, this is Logo Jojo, everybody. Can we get an applause for him? No! No! Don't you dare! I'm tired of it. I want the... You know what? I'm done. This is your podcast now.
This has been another In Progress podcast. So, follow us on YouTube and Spotify. I usually don't do this part. I'm Logo Jojo. That was Jake. And I guess we're done here. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
All right, so apparently we ended the podcast. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. We have so much more to talk about.
Yeah, but...
I was just thinking... I don't know why whenever we were just joking about ending the podcast, usually ending is whenever I feel the worst. I'm just like, I want to keep going.
Yeah,
I want to keep going.
I
And that's
understand
what
that.
how this podcast is for me is I love starting. I love talking. When we end it, I'm like,
yeah,
Wow.
like that's it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh crap, I wanted like it to keep going. It's kind of like that thing too, where like you're watching a movie and you're into it, and it just ends, or a TV show, or
Yeah.
hanging out with friends and stuff. But I mean, that's the kind of thing too, where you got to know like on certain things, like it's something like you don't want to drag it on,
Yeah.
because I mean, then it just gets like boring and sour, and you just
that's like a movie. Like, what's a movie series that just keeps dragging on and on and on, and they need to stop? I thought Twilight.
Twilight.
I think it should have stopped after the first movie.
I would say those. I don't know if you're a fan of those, but the CW shows. I was so glad Supergirl's finally getting canceled.
Supergirl, I never watched Supergirl.
Dude, I
because
legit-
hate females. I'm not gay. It's just
Dude, like I was a big fan of Arrow, of the Flash, and I even have some of the Arrow in my room. And then I was watching all the other shows, but they just got so dull and boring. And then I watched this Supergirl, and it wasn't bad, but it was more like they were trying to push that agenda on where the girl can do anything a guy can do.
Yeah.
Like, duh. Like, I mean, we're not like letting you like, oh, let me get the door for you, and they're like, I could have got that myself. I'm like, we're just being nice, being polite.
Just open
like,
the door.
don't.
I'll do that for a man. I do that for anybody.
Yeah, and it's just like they were kind of throwing all that on there, and feminism and all that crap on there. No offense to, I'm legit. I feel like I'm gonna be offending a lot of people in this podcast.
Bro, you may offend everybody.
Oh.
My least favorite character in the Avengers.
Is Scarlett Johansson?
Exactly not.
Oh.
I love Scarlett Johansson. It was Captain Marvel.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Captain
I
Marvel.
hated that movie.
I hated Captain Marvel.
Here's the thing: the best thing about that movie, actually, I didn't think it was that bad. You know why? Because I skipped through most of it. Because I was like, it's gonna be this crap. Skip 10 minutes. Oh, okay, a little interesting.
Why can't
here.
we just
Skip it.
have a movie? I don't want no political. I don't want nothing. I just want a movie.
I know, dude. That's why they did a freaking Endgame where they had like all the girls come up writing together.
And they got the shit beat out of them.
No, like I don't understand. Like, okay, I understand what they were trying to do, but I'm like, you just like took me out of the movie now. 'Cause
Legit.
now I'm like, now I see you trying to push an agenda. I'm like, cool, girls strong, they're great.
Yeah, women are great, whatever. But keep it out of the movies.
Yeah, or like, I mean, even if you put it in the movies, don't make it so freaking obvious.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I want to enjoy the movie. Don't throw this crap over here.
And of course, you put Peter Parker, one of the youngest superheroes in the movie, and he's there and he's getting beat up, and the women save the day.
Yeah.
Bull crap. If you put Iron Man there, I'm gonna be like, nah, I got it. It's cool.
See, here's one woman, what they're trying to do that I totally enjoyed and went for is Wonder Woman, because it's not like they're throwing stuff in there. That's her.
She was great. I actually liked that movie.
I like that movie too, and I'm looking forward to the second one.
Yeah, and you know what? It had nothing to do that male female stuff. It had nothing to do. She was a great character.
Right.
She did great things. She didn't go woman me, woman this.
Yeah.
She was her character, played it, did it, ruled
Yeah.
it.
And Gal Gadot, she's kind of cute though.
Kind of hot.
Yeah.
I
Maybe that's not the reason why we commend that movie
Yeah.
and stuff. But I mean, it's just a fact.
But there are movies that I definitely watch that I'm just like, they need to stop. They need to stop doing this, they need to doing that. But then I started, when we just got on the subject of movies, I was like, there's some video games that do that too. Like, you ever played
Really?
Assassin's Creed?
A little bit.
A little bit. They made too many. It's now gotten to where they were making Assassin's Creed games, and I remember playing them. I was like, hey, these are pretty cool. Now they're just getting kind of old. Then they made one where they changed the whole thing. Now you don't fight the same. You don't do anything the same. And I'm like, this sucks. It's like I'm playing Dark Souls.
It's like the Call of Duty games.
Yeah, Call of Duty was great back in the day, and now so I don't buy any more Call of Duty games. Now,
Gears of War. That's
Gears of
another
War
one.
never has changed. It's the same thing every
Yeah.
time. Now I'm a huge DC Marvel fan. I love DC, and I love Batman. I love the Joker. Those are my two favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep making these like Arkham Asylum games, Batman, Arkham City. They keep making these games. I think they made 3 of them, 3 or 4. I'm in love with those. I'll go back and I'll play them all the way from the beginning all the way to the end one over and over and over. And they're so good. That's kind of like my thing. I'm all about video games. I know you're more about movies than I am. But but there's a lot of things that I wish would keep coming. Just like comic books. Like, I love comic books, but they keep changing. I know there's alternate universes, whatever, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
just all over the place.
if I had to compare like a comic books and manga, which is Japanese comics basically, is I actually why I prefer Japanese like comics, the manga over the I never like reading comics. It's because I mean I don't know, I've told you this probably, but it's because manga most of them have a continuing storyline. You just start from chapter 1 and go and keep on going, and then that's basically it.
So is this a manga versus comic books talk?
Oh, I think so, man.
I think we just got into it.
Okay. Here's the thing why comics suck. Okay.
I think I just dislocated my mic. No, I didn't. I couldn't.
Dislocated your mic. Comics, okay?
Yeah.
They go all over the place. And you can never really like I even tried starting one and I was like searching, and it's bad when you have to go through so many sites and
Right.
stuff just to find the first chapter. And then to find out there's a first chapter of 5 other series. Like I'm trying to read Deadpool and because I just watched the movie, I was a big fan of it at the time, and I can't even figure out where to freaking start.
I agree completely. I agree 100%. Like I said, I'm a big Batman Joker fan. I can't remember what the I cannot remember. I just looked it up too, and it was like the Batman that smiles or whatever, or the Bat that smiles.
The Killing Joker?
Huh?
From the Killing Joker movie?
No, it's a comic book.
Oh.
And I want to watch it from beginning to end, but I just can't figure it out. I'm not watch it, read it. I can't figure it out. Now, of course, manga has its plus and comic books has its plus.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm a big superhero villain kind of guy. I like the really dark stuff. Now, I will say this: manga has a ton of dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton. Comic books need more, but to me, comic books they show a sense of honestly, my whole fight has just swayed the other way.
Really?
I will say this: I'm still in the line with comic books because I have a harder time reading manga. I have a harder time with it because it's so much. Now, comic books, they can be thin, and you can get beginning to end and not long at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a reader, but I'm a short reader kind of guy. Like,
Okay. Yeah, you want it like short and sweet.
yeah, like my movies. I want my movies to be. I don't want them if they're 3 hours long. Great, but make sure those 3 hours are entertaining.
Not those little those dead moments.
You can make an hour movie or an hour and a half movie that's just bam, 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 and I'm like, this is great. Like I'm going back to Avengers, like the Endgame one. That was a good movie.
Yeah, I
and
loved
it.
it.
Was long.
I
and
loved
it was
it.
always there was some slow points. Those slow points had great reasons why they were slow.
Right.
And of course there was ups and downs. But like comic books, it's just bam, bam, bam. It's always just action, action, action. Or if there is a slow part, it's a major slow part. That's the only difference I see in comic books and manga. Now there are some manga out there that are like that,
Right.
but I always see more slow parts in mangas.
I haven't read. I mean, obviously, I haven't read every freaking comic. Yeah. So I mean, I can't really based on all comics. But from what I've read, it's even for the shorter books, it's so hard to get into it. Yeah. Okay, where manga, it's like you start. It has a lot to build up to it, where you can get into it and start enjoying the characters. Comics, you already know the characters, you already know their backstory, so you're basically just like it's just another story. And it honestly, I like a continuation where like they start from here and I get to see them work way up.
Right.
I would love to see a Batman story like that, but the thing is it's basically it feels like filler to me.
Yeah.
Like all the comics, and I mean I don't want to hate on comics and stuff because there's good things and bad things about it, but it's just like that's why I could never really enjoy them that much.
Yeah.
And I tried reading. I even bought a whole Deadpool comic and read like 3 pages.
Wow.
Like I couldn't get into it. But here's the 2 different things about comics and manga is you read differently.
Yeah. Don't you read backwards?
Basically.
To us, it's backwards. I'm sorry.
But in Japan, that's exactly how they read anyway,
Yeah.
from right to left.
That is really hard for me because I bought a comic book that was like that. I'm sorry, bought one. I borrowed one. I borrowed one that was like that.
Logo buying a comic book? He's using his own money to buy things? What is going on here?
I like to waste money.
I mean, understandable.
But I borrowed one, and it was from Japan, but it was in English. And I remember I opened it, and I was like, hold on, this is the ending. I had already read the ending, and I was like, what the heck? And I flipped it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to read it backwards, and it took me a while to get used to it. And
that's a good thing about with some manga, too, where they have it, like, if you open up, like, an American book, they have the pages, like, you're reading the wrong way.
Yeah.
Turn it over.
I like that. And I did read the wrong way. But I guess this is why I guess I'm not much of either one. I like comic books, and I haven't gotten into manga that much, but this is why I don't like either one, is because...
you don't like either?
Yeah, I don't like either one almost.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you don't like reading.
I'm not a big reader. Also, I'm a big fan of detail. Like, if I am going to read and there's pictures, I want my pictures to be, like, detailed, crazy good.
This is why I recommend him reading Berserk. He's not a big reader, but Berserk, they've done crap to Berserk, the anime, and I'm telling you, this is a series that I feel like you would love, okay? But because the anime does not do the art justice, it just sucks. And the art is so good that sometimes you'll just be staring at the pictures.
Right.
It's that good, and that's why it's been running since 1989 and still on hiatus.
You know, this actually brings me into a question I've been meaning to ask you, and I think I've asked you before, but I never got like a strict answer.
Okay.
How do you feel about, now this still pertains to the comic books and even anime or TV shows, how do you feel about blood and gore? There's some people out there who don't like it, there's people who do like it.
I know you like it.
I am a huge fan. To me, and I know this sounds weird, blood and gore makes things better. It also adds a perspective. It also adds a feeling.
I agree. But for my personal taste, I'm not a big fan of it. If like there's those shows where they just throw it out there because like it's kind of like that thing where like, oh, let's throw some boobs in there, people are gonna love that. You just throw some like blood and gore in there like randomly. My take is if it's in there for a reason. Like we watched The Witcher.
Yeah.
They have, I mean, it's not like really bloody gory, but or like Game of Thrones, like they show that stuff like because it's fitting for the atmosphere, what the people are trying to give you, what you try to get that feeling of how it is. That's why I love what they do in the first episode, because you're like, oh, it's that kind of show. You know, you get your mind set on that.
The first episode was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's my take on it. But if it's just like randomly thrown in there, or sometimes, I mean, really, sometimes it's a little too much. I'm just I might pass on that.
Yeah, I do. Blood and gore really never has affected me. I know it sounds kind of weird, but like in a comic book that I just read, I think it was actually a Batman one, and it was the Joker cutting off his own face.
You see, no, here's the thing. I feel like if it's something like that, like I'm actually watching it, then I'll probably be like, there are some scenes where I'll be like, I don't know if I can watch that, kind of thing.
If they made an animated series or even I would love for them to make a movie about that comic book with the dark ones. Dude, I would watch it over and over and over again.
What if they get Joaquin Phoenix on doing that?
Dude, if they did, I'd piss my pants. I love that. I do love dark movies, and I love psychological stuff.
Right.
But in that comic book, the one I was reading, the Joker literally cut his face. You could see his face pinned up to the wall with blood and gore and all that. And then he even taped it back on to his face. Like, it's not like, oh, it's too gory. I mean, that's what you expect.
Right.
You see it. You see the insanity. You see the craziness. That's why they add that. I will say this, I'm a big fan of blood and gore because it adds that. It adds that feeling of, wow, that's really it. Now, of course, there's those kid movies like Hunter x Hunter. Like, people just dying in the first few seasons, it's like, oh, he's dead. But then they were like blood and
yeah. But the thing about Hunter x Hunter, dude, is oh no, you started me on this. Here we go. No, but it's about Hunter x Hunter. Like at the beginning, I just found it like when I rewatch it and stuff. When you talk about like it seems like they're just dying.
Yeah.
But what I found so funny is because literally there's people getting eaten, and it seems like it's like nothing.
Yeah.
And they make it so kid friendly where you're like, oh yeah, those people literally just got butchered.
They just pass right over it.
Yeah, but obviously later on it gets so much darker, and it like legit like there was one scene. Viewer discretion is advised, or listeners. But there's this one scene where like these two Chimera ants had these two people as slaves.
Yeah.
And this one dude just keeps stepping on his head. And I don't know if I don't think they showed crushing his head or something, but
showed the blood. Yeah,
so like you definitely got the image of that. But that was that kind of thing too, where in that show you didn't need to show crushing his head. It just like you needed like that you already got the feeling of like because you know what happened. So it's that kind of thing too, where I prefer just that.
Yeah.
But if there's some things where like, okay, hey, this guy's head got crushed, but there was this certain part in it that was needed. We took it out of his head or something like that.
Yeah.
If there are instances where there's a point why they showed you. I can understand that.
So do you find your own preference? Can you handle a lot of blood and gore?
I think it depends on my mindset.
Yeah.
If it's like random, I'm over here just like, because there's some times where I'm over here, I'll throw on a Disney show, and other times I'll throw on a Game of Thrones Witcher kind of show. You know, it's definitely that kind of mindset I have to go into. So I would think maybe it depends, because I don't know if you ever heard of the anime Blood Sea.
Never heard of it.
I've seen clips where these people were literally just like these like monsters. I don't know what it was. Were just like grabbing these people like they were just like food, and they were just like millions of people. They're just like eat them, and then they're like splitting them up and balls.
What did you call that again?
Blood Sea.
Was that the one where it's like this big demonic rabbit looking thing?
Yes.
And I can remember I watched a clip of that. Literally watched it on TikTok of him holding a woman, and he put his claw through his mouth and pushed it all the way through her.
Yeah.
And then they grab like the arms and rip the arms
That's
off.
That's it. And I saw that. I'm like, I can't watch this.
Thanks, TikTok. But I actually do. Now, it sounds really weird. That's a little too much gore. But I still want to watch it. Gore really doesn't bother me. Only thing that bothers me is needles. That's the only thing.
Like over here, people are getting limbs torn off, and there's just like this one little needle. He's just like, ah! What were we watching the other day where you're just like, I can't watch that. I can't watch that. I don't know what it was. It was
Knives Out.
We were watching Knives Out. Logo finally got to see it, and they had to use a needle, and I totally forgot. You're not a big fan of needles.
I can't handle them. I mean, I can handle basically anything else except needles.
Why do you not like needles? Why can't you handle them? That is the question.
Well, it's actually personal. I can remember being young.
You were molested
by a needle. Actually, if you think about it, we're all getting penetrated by a needle, so it is molestation.
Unless if you want it.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I needed it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
you'll understand. Okay. I was highly allergic to cashews.
Okay.
Highly allergic.
Okay.
And so if you send something to me in the mail and has cashews in it, fuck you. I'll still eat it though. But anyway, I remember I ate cashews. I didn't know I was allergic to it, and I ate them. I was young, and I didn't understand. My stomach was hurting. I can remember my skin breaking out in hives, and went to the hospital. I went to a doctor's office because the hospital was so far away, and they couldn't help me. And I think I had passed out from not breathing, and they took me in. And I remember I gained consciousness. I remember they strapped me down to a table with my legs strapped down because I was fighting them.
Dang,
my legs were strapped down. They strapped down my neck, my arms, everything. And then they had a woman put her hands on my head and hold my head down, and they were just needles.
Sounds like abuse to me.
Oh, it was bad. It was just needles and needles and needles, and they were doing their job. I can't say anything. They just say.
How many needles though?
I do. I can remember being so young. I can't remember how many needles. It just felt like over and over and over again, and it sucked. I thought for a second they used an epinephrine. That's the one where you stick it in your thigh, and you're supposed to stick it, hold it for 2 seconds, and pull it, and it's supposed to give you adrenaline. I think they used that on me, and all that scared me so much that I can't handle needles anymore. And I can remember.
So it's psychological. I mean, I guess
it gets me. It scares the crap out of me. I know that when I started college, I had to get shots. I almost did not go to college because of that. Because I can remember they're like, "Oh, you need to get this shot," and I was like, "No."
Did you ever get the shot?
I had to. I remember I sat in the chair.
What do you do when you get the shot? Do you like tense up?
I cry.
You just cry?
I won't cry, but I'll sit there and they tell you not to tense up when you get to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll sit there, and then of course they had to go and they have to get the wet little rag, and they as soon as they start rolling my arm up, I'm like.
I think once they start wiping it, that's when I'm like.
This is what scares me because I'm ready for the needle, and I'm like. And
yeah.
She's like, and then as soon as she starts wiping, I'm like, oh.
But you
like, oh, it's not the needle.
Yeah, but you never feel the needle though. Like I mean,
I'm scared to death.
You feel a little bit, but it doesn't hurt. And I think it hurts more when you tense up. I found out because I barely tensed up last time, and it hurt for like I think all night.
Bro, I can remember. I even told the lady I was scared of needles, and I'm sitting just like this. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, because of course my mind is wondering. I was like, I gotta see it. So I'm like looking like this, and she goes and puts her hand on my face, and it's like, don't look, and holds me. And I'm just like, and then she like stabs it, and I'm like, ah, and I'm like not looking. I'm freaking out because I can't see it.
Yeah.
And it just kept going and going, and I can remember it hurts. The needle felt like it was like this long, and I know that when she put it in, she was young. She put it in, and then she like rotated, and it hurt. It made all this turn black.
Dude, that's the worst feeling is like for me is when somebody's forcing you to do something. Like I remember I was like 3 and I was at this dentist where I don't know what was going on. I can't remember anything, but from what I remember, they had to put like a mask on me and like I wanted to get out of it, like take another breath, and they kept holding me down and stuff and forcing me to do it. So like doing needles, and they're like they're doing that to you, pushing your face, like that would legit like piss me off because it's like when I know I shouldn't look because or whatever. I know they're helping, but just the fact that I can't do it, that's when I'm like, nah, bro. And I remember even like 6th grade where we're at the recess and or it was 5th grade actually, like it matters. But these 4 guys, like they grabbed my ligaments, grabbed my arms and my legs, and they were just pulling me. And it's that thing where I can't get out of it. I can't move, but I'm like, yo, this is pissing me off. I'm like, don't let me move.
I will say, I don't know if it's a fear of mine, but when I can't move, I start freaking out. I do. I don't know if it's called claustrophobia. I don't know if claustrophobia is when you're in a tight space.
Yeah, I don't like that though.
A tight space normally doesn't bother me, but when I can't move, that's when I feel anxious and I feel like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I can't. But I remember I used to get held down when I was younger, and I hated it. My mom used to tickle me, and she would hold me down. She would put her knees on my arms, and she would sit there and tickle me until I cried.
Dang, bro.
And I would legit beg for her to get off, and she wouldn't. And I remember I'd have bruises on my arms for her.
Bro, you said it. You should have said please.
I said please. Words. I was like, Mom, please.
Oh.
And she was like, no.
Oh, dang.
But they used to do that.
That's weird child abuse right there.
It was pretty bad, but I will say that my fears are little, but they're big. I have
to you.
fear.
Yeah.
But to other people, they may be like, oh, whatever. Just like the blood and gore we're talking about. Some people can't handle that.
Right. Dude, can you handle horror movies?
I love horror movies. Love them. And I actually am in really desperate need of another horror. I've watched so many, I can't find any that interest me anymore.
Dude, I'm not really too big in them. Like, I will watch them, but they're the kind of things where I like to watch with other people. Because I know some people that would like to watch them just by themselves. Yeah. And, you do you. But I'm just like, it's not me, man.
So, we already talked about Halloween being right around the corner.
Yeah.
You don't watch any like horror movies to get in that like Halloween feel, the creepy feeling.
Like I said, I'm not really big in the holidays these days, bro. I know it's like, who wants to hang out with me, right? But
well, we should do that. We should find some movies that are like classic.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Dude, let's watch The Ring. I haven't seen that in I don't think I've ever watched The Ring. You have 7 days. I've only know that line.
I've never watched it either, dude.
Yeah, we should do that.
I actually want to watch it now.
Just like, all right, we're wrapping up the podcast. About to go watch The Ring.
We'll come back when we're done.
We'll come back. All right, so this is going to be the end of the podcast now. Thank you for listening or watching. Or if you didn't, then,
thank you for
being you. Yes, thank you guys again. This is season 2 of In Progress Podcast. We are back and better than ever. Maybe, I don't know, mentally?
Physically. We have been working out.
Yeah, I'm not eating Twinkies, throwing them in my face. That's weird, bro. But yes, you can follow us on In Progress Pods on Instagram and Twitter, where we update you on anything and everything when we put out a new video or a podcast episode, or we might even throw some more stuff on Instagram that won't be on Twitter. I'm just saying, if you want to check out some exclusive stuff, just 2 guys doing whatever.
Yeah, that's how the world should be. It's just living it with a smile and progressing every single day.
Keep progressing, people.
Whatever the normal line I say is yeah, that's it. Right there.
That was right there.
Stole the line.
My bad. Wait, what logo? What were you gonna say?
That's okay. You already had it. But that's it for the podcast. Everybody, just keep progressing, and we'll keep progressing with you. Thank you so much.
Peace. Okay, we just finished The Ring movie. What you think?
It sucked.
Yep.